It's around 7 p.m. on a weekday. It's the spring of 2007, and you just got back from school. You had no homework, you had no extracurriculum. You just got back home, and you had nothing. You had nothing that you needed to do. You asked if you can use the computer after dinner. With a sigh, your father is like, "Sure, okay, you can have it for an hour." So after you go eat, you go to the corner of the front room where the computer is located and you log on. Your internet browser opens up to a site that you already had saved because you use it so frequently. And then a familiar song starts playing. Okay, so the Flash game era is quite an important part of my childhood. It's a quite important part of many people's childhood. Anybody who was able to access the internet during the 2000s and the early 2010s probably has experience on the Flash game, like on Flash games. I don't know why I said the Flash games like that, but I did. So yes, like me personally, you'd often find me playing on the Barbie website or any of the Bratz games or My Scene or the Polly Pocket games or yeah, even like the American Girl games. And I was aware at this young age that all of these dolls, all these games came from a bigger franchise outside of just these Flash games that I'd go and play. There was also the Pucker ones as well. Quite enjoyed those. And even if I hadn't seen any of these dolls in real life or interacted with any of the media, yeah, for for these dolls, I was aware that like, oh yeah, people could buy these dolls, maybe, depending on where they are. For example, American Girl doll. I have never seen an American Girl doll in real life. I am very aware that they exist. I don't want one. I've never wanted one. But I know that they're real. I don't know much about them, but I know that they're real. But Avatar Star Sue was alongside all these other franchises, but I had no idea what she was outside of these games. I assumed that maybe she is a doll because she's with the Barbie and Bratz dolls. Like, but I had no idea what her doll looked like. I didn't know a thing. I didn't know where she was from. I knew nothing at all. I just knew that she was a pink-haired diva who happened to become one of my favorite games, one of my favorite game icons that I would play consistently. I found myself playing the Avatar Star Sue games kind of religiously. That's probably a stretch, but I would play them more so than the Bratz games. When there was a new Avatar Star Sue game that would drop, I would be there like, I'm there, I'm here for it. Amazing. Yes, get me that cauldron, let me make a new Sue. It was the witch game, the Avatar Star Sue witch game. That's the game I'm referencing. Yeah, Sue was my favorite dress-up game. She was my favorite dress-up game, and she was also my favorite hairdressing game. There was a few variants that she had. Also, as I know, I didn't actually use like the famous Girl Go Gaming to play most of these games. I'd have to go through it. I'd go through a proxy site, and then I'd play on a different site that like basically just used the other site. I just didn't like the aesthetic of Girls Go Gaming. It was a bit too pink, and the one that I ended up using was more like purple and black, more Kuromi vibes. Apparently that's what I liked. That's what I liked. Anyhow, so like a few weeks ago I was hit with like a wave of nostalgia, and I was there like, oh, I missed the Flash games. I missed them so much. I saw Sue and I was like, who even are you? Where did you come from? Where did you go? So I went and looked, and it turns out Sue was the mascot for iBravo. Oh, a South Korean flash game website, was also which is actually a subsidiary of the Hai Tai Food and Confectionery Company. And when I looked at the logo, I was like, oh, this looks familiar. Why does it look familiar? Because they made the bong bong grape drinks. And that is the only thing I know them for. And I was like, oh, so the cooking game that Avatar Starsuit also has was like direct product placement for this company. But anyhow, that was the most I found with the English language sources. And yeah, everything else was in Korean, and unfortunately, these guys here aren't doing me the favors that they should be, and my Korean still isn't like the greatest. We're living, we're learning, we're working, we're trying, we're moving forward. Who knows? There is a wiki page about Avatar Starsuit and like other stuff. And through this wiki page, I found out some information about Sue. So essentially, her name is Sue. Her real name is Suhi, and she is a pink-haired 10-year-old girl, oh, living a secret double life. I say secret because people know that she has another identity. Some people do, but it's inconsistent who knows when. It's inconsistent who knows when. And also through this site, I found out that there was a web series. There was a web series on the iBravo website, sorry. And each episode was maybe like 2 minutes long. There was about 50 episodes. I watched all of them. After episode 4, there's no more English subtitles, but it is quite formulaic. It is quite simple, so you can kind of grasp what's happening in each episode. It's just every time she transforms, because there is also a magical element to her transformations. I'm not being clear. Let me start again. Her secret double life as an idol. She's secretly an idol, and immediately I went, oh my god, she's Hannah Montana before Hannah Montana became a thing. Because, like I said, this is 2007. When did Hannah Montana's first episode come out? I feel like it was also 2007. I could also be wrong. Who knows? I'll know later when I Google this. Originally, the website, I believe, originally launched in 2005, so just either way, I believe that Sue came first. Sue was inspired by Hannah Montana. That's what? The other way around. Sue inspired Hannah Montana because Avatar Starsuit is an it girl. She is an it girl. She was inspired by an it girl. The it girl in question is Lee Hyori. And what a person to be inspired by. Incredible. Yes. 10s across the board. But yes, each episode of her web series that was on the iBravo website was about 2 minutes long, and also most of them contained product placement because the girl was there to sell things. She was there to make a coin. She was there to make some profit. But yeah, after episode 4, not really sure what's going on. I'm learning. I know some words here and there, but the vocab that I know isn't, like, there was some point where she was getting called Hobak Oni, and I was like, why is she like the pumpkin sister now? What's going on? Not a clue. But I stumbled my way through each episode. I found it quite interesting that the episode 4, where the subtitles were removed, was the episode where the voice actor started talking. Because up until this point, it had been radio silent, and you just had to read what was going on screen, and then there would be a translation. It was fine reading because it was like the first couple episodes really simple. This fourth episode also had a supernatural element. The entire show has a supernatural element because the way that Sue turns into an idol is with a magic wand that comes from an unexplained place. I thought I'd missed something in episode 1. I don't know what I would have missed in those 2 minutes, but I thought I missed something in episode 1 where she first got out her wand and transformed, and I was like, huh, so she's magic? She's a magical girl? Slay! I love magical girls. Who doesn't love magical girls? She's an old-time powerful magical girl, but she doesn't really have powers. She is just an idol. But it was also in episode, I keep talking about episode 4, but like episode 4 like sticks with me because it makes me just go, oh, so like what could she do without this magic wand? Because they're in a haunted house. There are ghosts going back and forth. They're going everywhere. There are ghosts. There are ghosts ghosting, haunting. And they're like, oh, we have to sing a lullaby to them to make them so they can rest. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, you can do that as a normal girl. And she's there like, oh yeah, if only there was someone who could sing. And then she transforms. She gets out her wand, does a whole like magical girl transformation to sing a little song. And then gets the ghost to go to sleep. And I'm just like, oh. But also your friend who previously didn't know that you were Avatar Star Sue now knows you're Avatar Star Sue, and she wasn't surprised. Interesting. And also, like, when she's in Avatar Star Sue, her persona is like very much Lee Hyori in base, very much Lee Hyori based. But like, arguably, it might just be like the time period, but arguably, I'd say she'd look more idolish in her everyday, because her everyday she has pink hair. In her everyday she has pink hair. When she goes to Lee Hyori, she's ginger, which is great. That's fine, but it's just like there are multiple times where she's still like, I'm gonna blend in. Nobody noticed me. I'm not famous, but your hair is pink. And I know me personally, I cannot walk down the street with my hair as is without having people go, oh my god, your hair. And I'm like, right? Look at it. I don't. I just wanted to show off. I'm just being a bit of a show off now. Also, there are quite a few characters. There's the main cast of Avatar Star Sue. Of course, we have our titular Sue. We have her best friend, Chohi. I wanted to say Chloe, but it wouldn't be Chloe because it's Korean. Chohi. Bin, who I believe is her boyfriend sometimes. Let's go with boyfriend. And then there's Leah. I hate her. We all hate her. That's her enemy. Leah's the enemy. But Leah's also kind of great, but she's the enemy. She also, I think at some point, marries a prince called Prince Muhammad. Yes, that's the thing. I just wanted to spew thoughts about Avatar Star Sue. I just wanted to spew thoughts about Avatar Star Sue. I very much enjoy her. I very much enjoyed the wave of nostalgia that came through me when I was watching this, all the content. I've never seen any of the content before. And after around 50 episodes, there just stops being content for a bit, and I'm like, oh, what happened to Sue? Yeah, according to the Avatar Star Sue fandom wiki, iBravo production, iBravo as the website, it opened in 2002, and then it had many customizable characters. There's that you can customize their hairstyles, clothes, you know, your average dress up girl games. And it was it was in there that like the characters for Sue and Bin were like made, and I guess they're counterparts, and they had to be together. Um, her first Sue's first known appearance was in 2004 at the Seoul Character Fair, and then in 2005, iBravo started producing Flash games, and then from there we move forward with Sue's career as the main character of a web series. But yeah, in 2010, the series ended like really abruptly, and a reboot was made called uh Little Patisserie Sue, and in this Sue had like short brown hair and purple eyes, and like the purple eyes are interesting, but she has short brown hair, and like she also didn't have magic, and she wasn't an idol. She didn't have a magic wand, and she wasn't an idol, and she just helps people. And like that's really cute, but like when you went from like a pink haired magical idol girl who also helped people, like the change is drastic, and it's like kind of basic. Because like, yeah, purple eye, like especially when it's like a Flash game, like it's a 10-year-old girl, so it's gonna be marketed to 10-year-olds. So like it's less visually striking. King, and like there's also less music. I mean, baking, cute. We love a baker. We love a cozy queen. It's not that cozy though, is it? Being a baker is stressful. She probably got to wake up at 5 a.m. A 10-year-old waking up at 5 a.m. to bake some bread to sell for capitalism. I mean, it would be more in line with the companies trying to like sell you confectionery. It would be more in line with that if she was a baker, as opposed to if she was an idol. But idols do product placement all the time. One of my favorite product placement songs is Gleam by Mamamoo, which, to be fair, it's not product placement for food, it's product placement for eyewear, it's product placement for glasses. But Gleam is great. Gleam is excellent. I was there like, maybe I want glasses. Maybe I need some new frames, because I'm supposed to be wearing glasses, and I hate my frames. And that's the only reason I don't wear them. Yes. But anyhow, back to Little Patisserie Soup. That actually, the web series for that actually lasted longer. It was a 53 episode web series. But nobody liked it. It was boring. And like, what can you say about that? Like, 53 episodes. Like, and again, formulaic, very simple, but it was just like less exciting. It's less exciting because there's like no magic and no music. And nobody has a magical girl transformation. Like, things can be formulaic, but if they're formulaic and fun, then people will like them. If they're formulaic and boring, nobody likes it. So, got the wiki up of the characters in Avatar Sarsu. And like, so of course we have Bin. And now Bin is also an idol, I believe. He's famous. I know Bin is famous. He was a host for a music show. Was it a music show or a baking show? He was a host for something. So he's famous. And I believe Bin consistently knows that Sue is Sue. Like, Bin consistently knows that Suhi is Sue. In the games, his hair is blue. So like when I was watching the series, I was like, who's brown haired boy? Because who is he? And then whilst watching it, Sue would be like, oh, Binna, and I'll be like, Bin? This is Bin? And I was like, maybe there should be a spin-off series about Bin and his magical girl experience, because obviously he must have a magical girl experience, because like why isn't he walking around with blue hair right now? It's kind of rude. Something like I found really weird when I was looking on the Wikipedia, because I was like looking for their voice actors, because they are voiced in the web series, and I was just like, oh, I wonder who voices them. I wonder if they've like done anything else, because like I don't know, maybe they're in a K-drama or something. I don't know, maybe they voice like other game, they voice games or something. I don't know. And on the website, it's only showing like very very specific names. And Bin's voice actor is Vincent Tong, apparently. But that's not Vincent Tong speaking when I watch Avatar Sasu. Uh, Liliana Money, Liliana Mummy, oh, Liliana Mummy is Sue's voice actor. They're all American actors, and I'm just confused. I was like, I feel like their original voice actors are being erased. But Liliana Mummy, she was in the Santa Claus, so she's the voice of Sue. Maybe in some of the games, potentially. I don't know. But anyhow, I have nothing more to say. I just wanted to talk about Sue.